Live action now. It's Alex Gonzalez, the second place hitter for the Cincinnati Reds, following a leadoff base hit by Chris Dickerson after tonight's starter Mitchell Boggs fell behind, and that pitch is way inside and almost hits Gonzalez, who's hitting just .204 with 3 home runs and 25 RBIs. Mitchell Boggs, our starter tonight. His numbers presented by Marshall Wireless.
Sixth start of the year, 7th appearance. He's 1-0 on the season. The Cardinals have won all 5 of his previous starts. And it was 10 days ago when he made that last start here at the big league level. Got sent down. And with Wellemeyer, who we thought over the weekend was going to be the scheduled starter, going on the disabled list, Boggs gets recalled for the 3rd time.
And the Cardinals need to see strikes as Boggs throws that strike in there for the first one in this at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that was one of the problems in that previous start. 5 innings, 5 walks.
He throws a lot of, a lot of extra pitches. He had 5 walks. He hit a batter, and when he throws strikes, for the most part, he does allow a lot of base runners because of the walks, but he can be successful at this level.
Runner goes, throw to second, safe. Stolen base for Dickerson, who just returned from the disabled list. And Dickerson was on the DL with a bruised right rotator cuff. He hurt that against Chicago, and he's holding that right arm rather awkwardly like right now.
He did it defensively, diving for a ball. You see, he just gets underneath the tag. He's 9 for 12 now in stolen bases. He came on to the active roster as Scott Rowland was put on the DL.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Gonzalez. Reds jumped out to a 1-0 lead last night. There's a base hit into right field. Dickerson being waved in. The throw from right. This is Ludwig, cut off by Pujols. And it's 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Let's take a look at the Reds lineup tonight. Dickerson, Gonzalez, and Votto, followed by Brandon Phillips, their second baseman, batting cleanup. Lance Nix, Gomes, Rosales, Hannigan, and Justin Lear. So not the kind of start you're looking for from Mitchell Boggs. Runners at 1st and 3rd, and here's Joey Votto, arguably their best hitter. He's hitting .316, 17 home runs, and he's driven in 53 this year.
Snapped a career high 0 for 15 skid yesterday. Obviously their best hitter, but with not a lot of protection behind him.
Mitchell Boggs making the start tonight. Todd Wellemeyer is out with a sore elbow, so he's been put on the disabled list, and Boggs recalled and making this start. Falls behind, 2 balls and no strikes. Boggs can throw in the mid-90s. His curveball is a work in progress still, but the Cardinals feel that he can be a contributor at some point in his career. But it starts like these that he's got to show he can do it.
You just have to not be so fine. You can't make perfect pitches. You got to get ahead in the count.
Little check swing. And they've got the runner at 3rd. Dickerson tagged out by DeRosa. Base running mistake, no doubt, by Dickerson.
You're exactly right, Dan. You just cannot do those things. And, you know, Dusty Baker's going, where in the world are you going? Once he sit there, DeRosa looked him back, but then he took another couple steps. And then DeRosa gets into a foot race with him. See, he took those couple extra steps, and then he was too far. And he gets tagged out before he goes back there. So a heads-up play by DeRosa. And no doubt about it, as a base running mistake helps the Cardinals out. Double play in order now.
It's hard to believe that just happened.
Well, you know, it's a learning game at the major league level today. But you'd think you'd learn that at the A-ball level.
Here is Brandon Phillips with 1 out. First pitch to Phillips, taken for a ball. You talk about the little things that make you a winning ball club, and you watch that, you got to wonder what's going through Dusty Baker's mind when he sees a play like that.
And you know he has a very good teaching staff. So it's just one of these things where guys are rushed to the big leagues, but there's no excuse for that. I mean, you learn that in A-ball. Hopefully you learn it in high school.
2-0 the count with 1 out. Phillips picked up an RBI in the first inning yesterday. His 72nd on the year. He's got 17 home runs and hitting .267. This is on the outside corner, 3-0.
And pitches like that, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt from your home plate umpire. Today it's Marty Foster. Because you have to establish in the mind of the umpire that you can throw strikes to get borderline pitches. And you can see he's learned his lesson, Dickerson.
And that's ball 4. So the bases are loaded. First walk issued by Boggs. Defense behind him tonight with Holiday, Rasmus, and Ludwig. DeRosa, Julio Lugo, Skip Schumacher, and Albert Pujols. And the battery is Boggs and Molina. Cardinals defense presented by Auto Tire. Dickerson was the runner at third when he was tagged out, so it's Gonzalez who is singled, Votto, and Phillips after the walk. And here is Lance Nix. He had one of his best games of the season against the Cardinals at Busch Stadium earlier this year, and that's ball 1.
He hit a home run off of Chris Carpenter.
16 pitches by Boggs so far, and 10 of those have been balls.
Now, there were a little bit of distractions to the start of this ball game, but Boggs doesn't have the luxury to think that way.
2-0. And Molina now just trying to calm him down. He's a ground ball away from getting out of the inning and just regrouping.
Exactly right. He also can strike out people too. So with a base running mistake, you know, he's in position to escape this first inning jam. But you have to execute pitches in the strike zone or close enough to get guys to swing at.
Here's a 2-0.
That pitch there, you'd be okay.
We are expecting around 40,000 here tonight. Sold out last night. 2 balls and 1 strike on Nix. Slowly hit and a foul ball. 2-2. How about these crowds that have been coming out for the Cardinals ever since the trades for DeRosa and Holiday and Lugo?
Oh, it's amazing, but I'm just trying to figure out how Shaq O'Neal got in this seat.
I don't think he could fit.
He's sitting in the seats. Right there he is, see? And he looks pretty comfortable. Sitting right next to Deidre. Pujols.
Yeah, Didi Pujols there on the right.
And on the left was one of Albert's agents.
Base hit out to left. Holiday cuts it off. 2 runs will score. Lance Nix makes it 2-0 Cincinnati. That's 3 base hits for the Reds here in the first. Now, some people have talked about maybe going with, and here comes Dave Duncan to visit, Blake Hawksworth in the starting rotation. Of course, he was a starter down in the minor leagues, but with the way that he has pitched out of the bullpen, he's really become a weapon out there. And
that's what Tony has stated, you know, and that's still an area that Cardinals really feel like they have to look for help. And Hawksworth has given them a little bit of a breathing room, but the difference between the good strike, the first strike, and the pitch that Nix just hit for the double, the opposite field, was he elevated it a few more inches, making it that much more hittable.
So 2-0 Cincinnati, and the out that the Cardinals received was a gift by the Reds here in this first inning.
One of the things I noticed is left-handed batters, and Nix is one, hitting .352 against Boggs.
And they came in 19 for 54 against Mitchell. Swung on and missed by Johnny Gomes. Good matchup for Chicago. They've got the Phillies scoreless, just underway in the second inning. Keep an eye on that score tonight. and sit out of play. And the Cardinals start play tonight, 3 games in front of the Cubs.
Is Zambrano on the disabled list?
He's on the DL. They're banged up with Ted Lilly.
Yep. Where would they be without Wells?
He has been outstanding for him. Here's the 0-2. Little chopper up the middle. Lugo gets to it and no play. He'll throw behind at third. Runner is safe. Run scores to make it 3-0 as Phillips crosses the plate. That's 4 base hits here in the first inning for the Reds. Long man tonight would be Thompson. Start thinking that way. Wellemeyer, as we mentioned, on the DL.
Well, some people were saying that, questioning when Dave Duncan and Tony La Russa said that Wellemeyer was the best option for the start tonight. And the unfortunate thing for Todd is he had the great bullpen on Saturday, but then on Sunday his elbow swelled up, irritation there, and that's how Boggs gets this opportunity. But I guess you say Tony and Dave Duncan knew what they're talking about, saying that Wellemeyer was the best option from what we've seen already.
0-2. It's already 26 pitches here in the first inning for Boggs. Cardinals trail 3-0. Adam Rosales is hitting .219 with 4 home runs and 19 RBIs. And a check swing and a strikeout. First of the night. And it brings in the 8th place hitter, Ryan Hannigan.
There's a great example. Rosales still trying to find his way at the major league level, but that's a pitch right there that gets AAA hitters out. But usually major leaguers stay away from swinging at that breaking ball off the plate. So 2 outs now, and Dickerson made a base running mistake, and a major leaguer swings at a AAA breaking ball.
And that pitch is a strike. Hannigan is hitting .289 with 1 home run, and he's driven in 8 this year. Cardinals will have Chris Carpenter on the mound tomorrow night. And it's an off day on Thursday, then San Diego in town for the first of 3 on Friday. Boggs is one of 4 Cardinals who are well known for their football skills and baseball talent. Briefly attended UT Chattanooga to play quarterback. Infielder Mark DeRosa starting quarterback at Penn. Matt Holliday was recruited out of Stillwater High School as a quarterback for Oklahoma State, and Nick Stavanoa began his college career as a middle linebacker. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs, runners at first and third. It's turned into a long top of the first. 1-2. Mitchell Boggs, he has made 11 career starts and appeared in 15 games for the Cardinals between 2008 and now. Been up and down a couple of times. Third time this year with the big league club. The 2-2 pitch. Defensive swing, and Albert is there. He'll step on the bag, and the Reds play 3 in the top of the first. Cincinnati Reds pick up 3 runs in the top of the first as we welcome you back to Busch Stadium. And the Cardinals have this lineup tonight. Second baseman Skip Schumacher leads it off. Then Colby Rasmus and Albert Pujols. Matt Holliday, Ryan Ludwig, and Mark DeRosa. Yadier Molina, Julio Lugo, and Mitchell Boggs. Justin Lear is the starter, brought to you by Marshall Wireless. He started this year with the Philadelphia Phillies, signed as a minor league free agent, and now he is with Cincinnati, and his record is 1-0 and coming off a fine start last time out against Chicago.
Hey, complete game shutout, 4-hitter in only his second major league start. This is his third in his career, all 3 coming this year. Been a reliever in the past and kind of bounced around. He's not a kid. He spent the last couple of years in Korea, and he has a BP fastball, but he has some trick pitches to get people out.
32-year-old from Orange County, and gets the start tonight against the Cardinals. Skip Schumacher hitting .295 with 4 home runs and 28 RBIs. Skip had a double last night to start things off for the Cardinals in the first. And a ground ball hit to Brandon Phillips. 1 away. The defense behind Lear tonight. Presentation of Auto Tire, Gomes, Dickerson, and Nix. Rosales, Gonzalez, Phillips, and Votto. And the battery tonight, Lear and Ryan Hannigan. Colby Rasmus hitting .246, 11 home runs, and 38 RBIs. Two balls and no strikes.
Cardinal hitters have to be ready for fastballs, but really look for something out over the plate. Lefties have to guard against a cutter coming in on them. Does have a splitter.
Saw the numbers there for Colby, hitting .378 this season against the Reds. The Reds come into play tonight 48-63, 13.5 games out. Cardinals at a season high now, 63-51. As Tony La Russa will tell you, always looks at a season in increments of 5, as far as 5 games above 500, then 10, 15, so on. They're edging closer now to 15.
High water mark of 12 games over, winning 4 in a row. And this club now, you're not afraid when they get behind. Have enough firepower to come from behind. And one thing too, if these players can get the ball up from Lear, real key for him is keeping the ball at the bottom end of the strike zone.
It's slowly hit, and a fair ball, and no plays. Rasmus beats it out. Good speed of Colby Rasmus, infield base hit. Our keys to the game, a look at the career numbers for Justin Lear. A complete game shutout, most recently against the Cubs. And as you mentioned, Al, he's been a guy that has been around the game of baseball, but not much in the major leagues.
And all of his appearance between 2004 and 6, his major league experience all came out of the bullpen.
And here's Albert Pujols. Shaq was watching intently when Pujols was in the cage and taking batting practice today. Two balls and no strikes. Home plate umpire tonight, Marty Foster. He's not giving that outside part of the plate to the pitchers against right-handers. It was the same for Mitchell Boggs. A 2-0 pitch. 2-1. Many times Pujols will take that first pitch with somebody he hasn't seen. There goes Colby Rasmus, and the pitch is hit out the end of the bat, popped up on the infield. Colby back to first, and the catch is made for the second out. Brings in Matt Holliday. Holliday hitting .312, 15 home runs. He's driven in 70.
26 games. His final few with Oakland and all of his time here. 431, 13 doubles, 7 home runs, 27 RBIs, and 26 runs in just 26 games. Gives you an idea how hot he's been.
For Walt Jocketty and the Reds, they're dealing with injuries. Scott Rowland is out on the DL. Volquez done for the year. And Johnny Cueto was injured after 2 innings last night.
Hip flexor. That could take some time to come back from.
Sure could. There's Scott
Scotty.
Rowland.
He put on the disabled list with those concussion-like syndromes. They did a more extensive test and it came back pretty clean, but he's still experiencing the headaches and feels like he's kind of out of it.
Interesting that Scott Rowland made a visit by Tony La Russa's office yesterday.
Very happy to see that. And they can just both move on, but I'm disappointed we aren't seeing him in this series. I always respected the way Scott played the game.
And time is called. One of the realities of winning a World Series is the fact that those teams will get together, 10-year anniversary, 15-year anniversary, those kind of things. And
sure,
you'd like to see that if they did come together, that Tony La Russa and Scott Rowland could be civil about it and have nice conversations and relive the great memories of 2006, which I'm sure now will be the case. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3-0 Reds. Bases loaded double by Lance Nix. Picked up 2 RBIs. He now has 32. And then Johnny Gomes, an infield hit for an RBI. That's taken a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike. Mentioned the Atlanta Braves and how hot that team has been. They're in the bottom of the 5th. They lead Washington 3-1. And give Jim Riggleman some credit with the Nationals and the job that he's done so far.
Yeah, they've been scoring a lot of runs, and they've been a pretty hot team of late.
We will see the Nationals in the next homestand. We'll be on the road next week in the West Coast. 3 with the Dodgers, 4 with San Diego, and then we come home with a 9-game homestand. That part of the plate, Marty Foster is not giving it to the pitcher. 3-1.
Which neither one of these pitchers can ill afford not to have as much strike zone as possible. 16 pitches thrown by Lear, 9 balls.
Up the middle. Phillips can't get to it. Base hit. Colby on his way to third base. And the tying run will come to the plate.
Ground ball, well placed back over the mound. Phillips, the Gold Glover, can't come up with it. And Colby, in his great speed, goes first to third. Phillips, tremendous range, and he was well on the shortstop side of second. And Holliday continues that toward pace. Wearing the Cardinal uniforms, hit safely in 15 of the 17 games.
And here is the player of the month in the National League for July, Brian Ludwig. Ludwig with 18 home runs. He's driven in 71.
I might like this matchup here with Ludwig.
And you say that because
he's a low ball hitter. He's got a lot of off-speed pitches. I think he's a breaking ball hitter.
Oh, he almost had him picked off. Rarely do you see that work. It worked for the Cardinals earlier this year. I believe Brad Thompson was the pitcher on the mound. The fake to third and throw to first. Almost got Holiday.
It's so close that you don't want it to go either way. But many times that works best against good base runners, because they just think that they are such good base runners that nobody's going to take anything, or that they're heads up, they're in the game. They kind of feel like those things everybody can read.
Ludwig in the air, out to right field, and the catch made by Nix. The Cardinals strand two, and we played an inning here at Busch Stadium. Boggs back to work. It's 3-0 Reds. Buy Auto Tire. For the lowest prices in town, we shop the competitors so you don't have to. Buy Chevy. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at STLchevy.com. And by the State of Missouri Tobacco Quit Line. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Mitchell Boggs and the Cardinals trail 3-0 here in the second inning. Justin Lear leads it off, and the first pitch is a ball. Lear, Dickerson, and Gonzalez for the Reds. Reds have RBIs from Lance Nix and Johnny Gomes. Here's a 1-1. Boggs looking for his second strikeout, and he gets it. So the first out recorded here in the top of the second. Chris Dickerson single his first time up to start the game.
Well, let's see if Boggs can pick up the pace a little bit, throw a few more strikes.
Saw last night that coming out of the bullpen, some of those guys, the pace which they pitched was awfully slow. This is smoked out to left center. Colby won't get it. Hops off the wall. Dickerson to second, now on his way to third with a triple. So Dickerson 2 for 2 with a single and now a triple.
Colby, you watch him out there in center field. He did not react. I think this ball fooled him on how far it carried. And then when he got around the warning track, he pulls up a little short, bounces over his head, but he didn't have that jump that he normally gets. And then he's too close to the wall. Hot Shots Exmo Cam on block south of the ballpark on Broadway.
And this is hit in the air. Shallow right with the infield in. Schumacher gives way to Ludwig, who makes the catch and fires it back into Pujols for out number 2. Big out there. Brings in Votto, and Boggs isn't out away from getting out of this jam.
Talked about last inning how much success left-handed batters have had against Boggs. Careful with Votto, their most dangerous hitter.
Talk to the Reds folks. They really believe that this guy is the centerpiece for them getting back into contention. I'm talking about next year and the year after that. He's a young player, and they would have a shot to build around Joey Votto. They think that this guy is going to be a superstar.
Earlier this season, he had a stint on the disabled list with depression and anxiety related to the death of his father. He was hitting the ball extremely well before that time and still their best hitter.
1-0 pitch. He talked about it publicly, and he said, I'm going to do this one time and one time only. And I'll explain to you what is going on and what's been happening in my life. And he talked about his dad's death and the impact that that had on he and his family. He said a couple of times he'd be alone in his house and couldn't breathe. He was hyperventilating. Needed to get away from the game, get things sorted out, and he has. 3 balls and no strikes with 2 outs and a runner at third. He did that. He's from Canada. He did that when the Reds played up there. And a base hit with 2 outs to make it 4-0. RBI number 54 for Votto. He was swinging away on 3-0.
54th RBI, 3-0, and just sit there and said, you know, the ball's down, but he's a low ball hitter. And just a nice piece of hitting, just makes solid contact right back up the middle, except the 4th run for the Cincinnati. And the Cardinals going to have their work cut out for him tonight.
Here's Brandon Phillips. He walked and scored his first time up. On a 3-0 pitch with 2 outs, Votto makes it 4-0. In there for a strike. Boggs is kind of a guy that just slings
Gets
it up
underneath.
there.
Has a tendency to get up underneath his slider a lot. And flattens out, doesn't have any downward tilt, and becomes kind of much more hittable.
In the air, right field. Ludwig there to make the catch. 4-0 Cincinnati midway through 2. to Atlanta to take on Chipper Jones and the Braves. Fox Saturday Baseball this week at 3, and it's only on Fox. We're talking about the National League East earlier tonight. The Phillies seem to be loaded and primed for a good run towards the postseason.
Cubs have jumped out to a 2-0 lead and still batting in the third inning against the Phillies, but they have a very good offense. Lee obviously improves their rotation, and we'll see what Pedro's got left. He'll start tomorrow.
Jamie Moyer's out and Pedro is in. Phillies have lost 3 straight. Oddly enough, they're only .500 at home. There's a base hit for DeRosa to start the bottom of the second.
Well, remember, the Phillies had a much better record on the road, and then when we were there, it kind of gotten a little bit too .500, maybe a couple games over. But now they've fallen back to .500. But I don't know how you're going to keep that offense down too much.
A row, they're 32-19 are the Phillies. This is Molina. And the Phillies have dominated the National League Central Division, 15-6 against the Central. Cardinals pick up their third base hit, and this is Yadier Molina. And this could be a double play ball. Out there on to first, double play, 6-4-3. Julio Lugo is the 8th place hitter tonight for the Cardinals. No bat now with 2 outs and nobody on.
Second double play that Molina's hit into. Gonzalez even double clutched on that one.
Lugo is hitting .305, couple of home runs, 13 driven in. First pitch is a strike.
Lugo, DeRosa, and Holiday really have put a shot in the arm to this offense, and you still feel that they can come back from a 4-0 deficit. Knock Lear out of this game, get into the bullpen.
Tony's got a situation now where he's trying to find playing time for Schumacher, Brendan Ryan, and Lugo to keep them all fresh. Clearly the best defensive player of the bunch is Brendan Ryan. He made another great barehanded play yesterday. Also had a key base hit late. And finds himself on the bench tonight.
And then with all the off days, you know, they all should be well rested to begin with. But
1-2 pitch. Well, Lugo should be rested. He wasn't playing. He should be fresh.
Been a breath of fresh air since coming over here and really putting a little jolt into this team.
One and 2 the count. We're in the second inning, 4-0 Reds. Hold foul. This is really the time you talk to the players who are trying to crank it up a notch or two. The dog days of summer here in August, and get ready for that final month of the season, September. Try to close out the Central Division.
Another beautiful evening that, you know, this uncharacteristic cooler weather.
It's slowly hit. Barehanded and safe at first. Base hit for Julio Lugo as Rosales made that close.
Rosales has a very good throwing arm. And just one of those swinging bunts. Kind of no man's land. Lear tries to get to it, can't get to it. Nice bare hand and throw, but Lugo running hard just gets it.
Exmo Cam presented by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill. The Cardinals with 4 base hits. 2 of those have been infield hits. Here's Mitchell Boggs. One 0 pitch to Mitchell. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mentioned the Cardinals 3 games in front of Chicago. Milwaukee 6.5 games out. Houston is 7 back. Houston leading their ball game 7-2 over the Marlins in the top of the 6th. And things have gotten interesting out west as the Dodgers, with that big lead, it's been cut into by Colorado. They're 5.5 games out. San Francisco 6.5 out. Giants won last night, or rather the Dodgers beat the Giants last night.
Yeah, that series continues, and the Pirates are at Colorado.
Here's a look at the West and Colorado.
Colorado would be the wild
That's right.
card team right now in the National League.
And Boggs strikes out. First of the night for Lear. 4-0 Reds. PetSmart Charities Adoption Centers are available 7 days a week in every PetSmart store. During every homestand, Fox Sports Midwest will feature adoptable dogs or cats in Cardinals Live. Watch tomorrow as Jim Hayes introduces us to one of these adoptable pets. For more information, visit PetSmartCharities.org. 4-0 Reds.
Make Tony happy.
Classy move by the Cardinals. They just showed from the Dayton Daily News Hal McCoy, who is in the Hall of Fame, the longtime beat writer of the Cincinnati Reds. He will retire after the end of this season. Not by choice, by the way, either.
Yeah, the victim of newspapers. His newspapers stopped covering the Reds. He's worked for the Dayton paper for 37 years, and I think it's 49, almost 50 years he's been working baseball. He's legally blind.
Aaron Boone, who's trying to make a comeback after open heart surgery with the Astros, was with the Cincinnati Reds at the time, and Hal McCoy was going to retire because of a situation with his vision. And Aaron Boone and some of the other players went to him and said, "You can't retire. we like the way that you cover the team. We have a relationship with you, and you're one of the best to deal with in baseball. And the club then had a situation where they put a television right by his spot in the press box so that he could see the games. And there is Hal McCoy. He's a wonderful man. So he will retire at the end of the season, and it's we talked about that being one of the great moments in his career when Aaron Boone did that. A player pulling aside the beat writer to do something like that.
Well, of course, 3-generation Boone family in baseball. And Hal's covered probably pretty close to the grandfather, to father, to his brothers. That's a nice story.
There's Marty Brenneman, the Hall of Famer. Pitch is a strike to Nix. And the second strikeout for Mitchell Boggs. Check that, the third strikeout for Boggs, and tailed back in there, and Nix is down. Brings in Johnny Gomes. Talk about great announcers. How about Bill McDermott, who has announced soccer for a long time. Based here in St. Louis. He's done all those national telecasts. Happy birthday to Bill, who is watching tonight. He turned 61. Happy birthday, Bill McDermott.
Mr. Soccer.
Classy man. 2 away. If you're traveling and can't catch the Cardinals TV broadcast, catch all the action on your computer at MLB.tv. Over 100 live out-of-market games per week. For complete details, visit STLCardinals.com, where baseball is always on. 2 outs, and here's Rosales. Struck out back in the first and hitting just over 200. First pitch, a strike from Boggs. Mitchell Boggs at 54 pitches thus far. Rosales struck out with runners at first and third back in the first inning. On that pitch right there.
Yeah, except a little worse as it was down and away on the ground, but had the same results. Swing and a miss.
Check swing, did not go. 2-2. Milwaukee in the top of the fourth, tied with San Diego 2-2. Cubs in the fourth, bottom half, lead the Phillies 2-0. Astros in the bottom of the sixth lead the Marlins 7-2. A 2-2 pitch. They're celebrating the birthday of Bill McDermott and Obie Clark's tonight. Happy birthday to Bill. 4-0 Cincinnati. Hotel and Casino, home of LaLuz's Slots. And by the new 3rd Pound Angus Burgers. They are here. Try one for yourself today, only at McDonald's. Four to nothing Cincinnati as we move to the Cardinals half of the third. And the top of the lineup, Schumacher, Rasmus, and Pujols. First time through, the Cardinals had 4 base hits, 2 of them infield hits. And Skip grounded out to second first time up. Reds picked up 3 runs in the first and another run in the second.
Well, now they've had a chance to see what it looks like staying in the batter's box against Lear. If they can't do a little more damage. Have 4 singles, and as you mentioned earlier, 2 of those were infield singles.
The 2-0. You knew Shaquille O'Neal was huge, but then you see him in person, and it's unbelievable how big he is. I mean, I've always enjoyed watching him. There's Shaq. His personality I find to be hilarious.
That's one thing that Albert said, that he's a very humorous and funny guy. I guess whatever he says, you believe, right?
I'm not going to argue with him. Big man. 3 balls and a strike. 3-2.
There's Jerry Clinton, and I wonder if he can see around Shaq.
He looks miserable right there.
It's our good friend. We better be careful.
He's a good man.
There's Jerry's view.
Poor Jerry. Got to go to the right or the left. I mean, the green seats, those are fairly expensive seats, and all of a sudden you've got Shaq sitting in front of you.
Jerry's got 4 of them. He can see around them. There's one of Jerry's grandsons that did our disclaimer not too long ago.
So a leadoff walk to Schumacher. And here is Colby Rasmus. And Colby drives it into deep right field. Backing up, Nix, and he's got it for the catch in front of the track. And Schumacher is back to first. Brings in Albert Pujols.
Sounded a lot better off the bat, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, Colby's had a few of those recently, though, where it looks like he's getting into the pitch and not quite deep enough.
Put your cell phone down, Jerry.
Here's Pujols with 1 out and a runner at first. Well, they saw this last night with the Reds with Pujols up. They had a shift on for him. Knocked down by the shortstop there, on to first, and Pujols is safe as he hit a rocket to short.
Check Gonzalez's chin, see if it's still on his face. So that ball looked like it came up and popped him in the jaw.
Matt Holliday with a base hit, first time up.
Skip trying to do everything he can to disrupt the return throw, and gives Albert just enough time to beat it out at first.
But how about that? A shift for Pujols, which they have Brandon Phillips basically on the other side of the second base bag, and they've got a shift on here for Matt Holliday too. Big gap in left center field, but then on the right side of the infield, huge hitting lane there.
And they pitch him away. Phillips was stationed right there behind second base. He catches that ball that Holliday bounced up the middle on the shortstop side. He catches that one easily.
Base hit, left field.
You weren't playing far enough in the hole there, Gonzalez.
Well, Holliday 2 for 2.
Maybe he thinks it's Friday. You want to play up the middle? I'll just pull one through on the left side.
So Holiday and Pujols aboard, and here's Ryan Ludwig. One swing of the bat, the Cardinals right back in this game. Ludwig first time up, flight out to right field.
And this time around, they're hitting the ball a little harder. So
Cardinals with 5 base hits. Out hit in this game 6-5 and trail 4-0. Now Ludwig was helping Shaq with his hitting. He was the instructor. It was a circus around Shaquille O'Neal during batting practice today. 0-1 pitch. Ludwig out to left field. That'll drop for a base hit. Pujols being waved in. Throw from Gomes to the plate. And Albert is safe. The Cardinals get on the board. 4-1.
Hanging breaking ball. One hops out Gomes. Should have a legitimate shot, but throw a little tardy. There's a breaking ball, and you see it hanging up. Albert with a good read and comes on home with the first run. And you could just kind of see this time around, if he gets the ball up a little bit, Hennigan tries to block the plate, but Albert, sliding feet first, takes that left leg and drives it back towards home plate.
And notice Pujols look back after he popped back up after the slide. Now,
almost wonder if he thought he missed the plate.
Or if he was unhappy in how the plate was blocked.
Possibly.
DeRosa now represents the tying run. And Mark DeRosa singled his first time up back in the second inning.
Go look at it again. He sticks that leg up, but it's still in the air. And you know, most of the time you try to get that leg down to where you stop somebody sliding in, but I think Albert preferred that he hung up to drive there.
1-1 strike on Mark DeRosa. And time is called. Fans trying to get into it here at Busch Stadium.
Responsibility of that on deck hitter, and you see telling Albert to slide, and then he's trying to tell him to slide to the outside side. Right into foul territory. By the way, that's 72 RBIs now for Ludwig.
Runners at first and second with 2 outs. 1-1 strike. Here on DeRosa. 21 home runs this year, 8 with the Cardinals. DeRosa, hard hit. Phillips knocks it down, flips to second for the force. Redbirds get on the board. Ryan Ludwig with RBI number 72. 4-1 after 3. Hannigan, Lear, and Dickerson for the Reds. First pitch to Hannigan, a strike at the knees. Grounded out to Pujols to end the first. 0 for 1 tonight.
Boggs retired 4 in a row, but 8, 9, and 1 should be an efficient and a relatively easy inning for him.
Hold foul, no balls and 2 strikes.
Got to go out there and kind of get into a groove a little bit. Pitch count up to 60. Well, after 30 plus pitches in the first inning, it's gotten a little bit better.
And an 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball. 1-2. And swung on and missed. They're starting to settle in a little bit here. That's now 5 strikeouts, and he has set down 5 in a row.
And 3 of the last 5 batters, 3 of the last 4 batters have been strikeouts. A little slider at times. If he can get it near the plate, they offer at it, but that's a bit surprising here at this level.
The start last year against Kansas City, in which the Cardinals thought his breaking ball was probably the best that they had seen it. But that was more of a 12-6. This is more of a slider.
More of a slurve.
It's a fastball taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Taken there by Schumacher. This looks more comfortable day by day there at second base. Well, for every Cardinals win during this homestand against the Reds and Padres, you can take $6 off Lowe's box seats for the Astros series August 25th, 26th, and 27th. And this could lead to a discount as high as $36, meaning free tickets. Stay tuned and save. The Cardinals are 1-0 so far. How high will the discount go? For more information, log on to STLCardinals.com.
Dickerson 2 for 2 as he returns from the disabled list tonight.
A low strike there, 1-1. Dickerson, a single back in the first and tripled and scored in the second. Albert is there, race to the bag. Boggs beats him. Molina, Lugo, and Boggs coming up. It's 4-1. Bottom of the ninth, pinch hitter Carl Taylor's grand slam caps a 5-run rally, giving the Cardinals a comeback victory over the Padres. 1970 in our Schnooks, this date in history.
Remember Carl Taylor?
Remember him? Yes.
Became a very good pinch hitter for the Cardinals that year. Not a very good outfielder at all. It was Boog Powell's stepbrother. And one time he made a great diving catch. He caught the ball, but the umpire ruled it. They trapped it, and he went berserk. He went, brother, we were playing the Dodgers. Brother came out, half brother tried to console him and everything. Went in and just set his glove on fire. Everything else.
He was that upset.
Yeah, because he finally got and made a great play, and he didn't get credit for it.
Well, why would you want to set your glove on fire?
Well, he didn't use it. He was that kind of outfielder.
Here is Molina, and he'll start it off for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the fourth. Base hit for Yadi. Molina grounded into a double play, 6-4-3 his first time, and picks up a leadoff single.
Cardinal father, son wearing a Cincinnati hat. You know what else happened on this date 36 years ago? Good friend of mine, Linda and George Venegoni, had their first date. And George Venegoni just retired from lieutenant at St. Louis Police Department. They were watching the Cardinals play against Cincinnati, and you realize that tonight is the first time the Cardinals and Reds have met on August 11th since 1973.
And Julio Lugo looks at a strike. Lugo his first time up, an infield base hit. Mitchell Boggs on deck. Cardinals trail 4-1. Pitch at 69 miles an hour. Really took something off it there with the breaking ball.
I kind of mentioned that he has a BP fastball, and that's the reference from Hal McRae, as his fastball tops out about 85. But he has enough secondary pitches to keep you honest. Big Pole, the pitching coach for Dusty Baker.
Base hit into right. Just waited on the pitch. Guides it into right field for a base hit. Spend the night under the lights of Busch Stadium when the Cardinals campout returns Friday, September 25th, courtesy of Bass Pro Shops and Tracker Boats. For tickets, call 314-345-9000 or visit stlcardinals.com/campout.
Notice how efficient things have been up here tonight?
No Tim Garcia.
Sometimes we just don't know when he's here and when he isn't.
It's a 4-1 game as Cincinnati scored 3 in the first, 1 in the second. Cardinals came back with 1 in the third, and now they have first and second, nobody out. And here's Mitchell Boggs. Let's see if Boggs can help himself. He struck out first time up. Cardinals have out hit the Reds 8-6 tonight. Lugo 2 for 2.
This is one of those little things, Dan, that is so important to help your own cause.
Good bunt. Only play for the Reds is to go to first base, and that was with Molina running as the lead runner from second to third. And you know that any team would want to be aggressive in trying to get him.
Yeah, you really got to get a bunt out onto the grass, and it was borderline, but Hannigan, knowing that he has to get at least one out, took the sure route, and that's at first base. Not always easy to get Molina down to third base, and you see the pitcher pointing to third. They might have had a play, but you know, you took the sure route, and that is to go to first, and Boggs does his job getting both into scoring position.
So one out, runners at second and third for Skip Schumacher. Skip tonight has walked and also grounded out. 0 for 1. He grounded out to second base.
Peck away, peck away. Got one last inning. Need at least one here.
Skip had that dramatic home run over the weekend against the Pirates. Double here last night.
His first career pinch hit home run on Sunday.
He said at any level, much less the major leagues. Hitting .294 on the season with 4 home runs. He's driven in 28. In the air, left field, Gomes over, makes the catch. Here comes a throw to the plate, and they're going to get him. Molina is out. You saw last night, Gomes has got a strong arm. One hopper to the plate, and the Cincinnati Reds get themselves out of a jam. Yeah, that's 3. Sacrifice was the out, and that's a double play. Throw by Gomes. Keeps it 4-1. Find out which will be the greatest Cardinals team ever. There's simulated games on the post-game show after the game right here on Fox Sports Midwest. Cardinals take a chance with Molina tagging up from third base to the plate, and he was gunned down by Gomes. Keeps it 4-1. And you could question as to whether or not to send Molina in that spot. Was it deep enough?
I can talk to Jose. He's always going to send someone, make the opposition.
That's a fair ball over the bag. Gonzalez on his way to second base and in there with a double.
DeRosa's going to challenge it, but it bounced foul, and I just thought Wally Bell just pointed to it like it bounced in fair territory. Tony Russa may come out here now, but it's where it goes over the bag, really not whether it lands in fair or foul territory. Take a look at it, and clearly it lands in foul territory, but it's where it goes over the bag. Didn't it go in foul territory? Yeah, by a long ways, but it's hooking. And Wally Bell's the crew chief, and he's the one that made the call. I thought that he kind of pointed to as if it bounced in fair territory, and that's not the case. Wally's the crew chief on this crew.
So a leadoff double for their shortstop Gonzalez, and now the heart of the lineup, Joey Votto. Second base hit for Gonzalez. And Votto looks at his strike. Joey Votto with a 2-out base hit on a 3-0 pitch back in the second inning. A 1 pitch in the dirt. First base hit allowed by Mitchell Boggs since back in the second inning. Here's a 1-1 in the dirt, blocked by Molina. Good play. At least Votto wants to pull the ball here to advance Gonzalez to third, if not drive him in. Big gap in the left center field. Last couple of innings, Al, you saw Mitchell Boggs aggressive, and now he gives up that leadoff double, and he's going back to kind of picking here.
Well, it's a big difference when he's facing the right-handed batters, and that's who he was retiring. But the lefties have really owned him.
Phillies have come back in their game, 2-2 now at the Cubs. Milwaukee trailing in their ball game against San Diego 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th. And the Marlins coming back in their game against the Astros at 7-6 in the bottom of the 7th. So here is Brandon Phillips. Runners at first and second, and nobody out. Here comes Dave Duncan. They're starting to stretch out there in the Cardinals bullpen.
And now there's some stirring going on, maybe. You know, the bullpen, congratulations to the Isringhausen. They had another baby girl, as Dennis Reyes will get up. So, Jason and Lori Isringhausen, proud parents of his second daughter.
Got the lefty coming up, Lance Nix.
That's what we're talking about, that, you know, Boggs really struggles against left-handers.
And a swing and a miss. Good pitch there.
So 76 pitches thrown, 20 less than Cincinnati's starter. Nobody out here in the 5th inning.
1 ball, 1 strike. We were talking before about the Cubs, and they are a team that is really being hurt by all the injuries, as Ramos Ramirez is missing time. He won't play till Thursday with a cortisone shot in his left shoulder this afternoon.
And that's been bothering him again. That's what put him on the disabled list, that separation.
Ted Lilly getting ready for a minor league rehab start. Carlos Zambrano getting treatment for his back spasms. He's on the DL. Even Tom Gorzolani, the former Pirate, had his foot in a bucket of ice as he hurt his foot the other day. That's a strike to Phillips. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brandon Phillips walked and scored in the first and flied out to right. 2-2.
Tough day for Molina. Boggs, you know, Molina can never assume that the ball's going to go where he wants it.
Well, we know that Wellemeyer's on the disabled list, and you have to wonder, in 5 days, will Mitchell Boggs get another start? 2-2. Is he doing enough here to say that, yeah, I deserve one more start?
I think that question's yet to be determined.
Well, you've got to get out of this inning, go deeper in the game.
Sure.
2-2. Cardinals have out hit the Reds 8-7 in this game. That's in the dirt. They have stranded 6 already tonight.
He's on pace to be over 90 pitches.
This could be his final pitch because of the lefty on deck.
You're right. And if it is his final pitch, it's not good enough.
Giving up 7 hits tonight.
He's walked 2.
Struck out 5. The 3-2. Little chopper hits a short. Lugo out there on the first, not in time. Hit the runner at second base. And it's 6-4 on the fielder's choice. First and third with 1 out. 6 is a serious number. When the Cardinals score 6, you get a 20-ounce coffee, fountain, or frozen drink for just $1 the next day at On the Run at Mobile. Win or lose, when the Cardinals score 6, you score 25-cent drinks at On the Run.
Kind of at the crossroads right now. And you've got, if you don't bring Reyes in to face a left-hander here, then you've got 4 straight right-handed batters. And you also, in many ways, you don't want to ruin your bullpen. You do have the luxury of having Carpenter pitch tomorrow.
Lance Nix with a fly ball. Shallow right going out. Schumacher over the shoulder and makes the catch and fires it back into the plate. Outstanding play from the Cardinals second baseman, Skip Schumacher.
Well, that's where his outfield play is a real plus. Going back on a ball, it's easy for him. Anything hit in the air, and then he's got that terrific, strong throwing arm. So he's back to the infield, and then he can act like an outfielder.
Boy, that's a good play.
It's a very good play.
So 2 outs and a big out there. Now Boggs, see if he can't get through this pin.
Combs 1 for 2. RBI base hit his first time up back in the first, and then a ground out to second. Swinging him around to pull in the infield as Lugo playing well off the second base bag into the hole.
And he started the double play with Molina running from third. 2 outs, first and third. And a 4-1 Cincinnati lead. Reds scored 3 in the first, 1 in the second. Here's a 1-1 instead of check on the runners. Situation here, he's at 85 pitches. If he can stay under 90, try to squeeze another inning, if not 2 out of Mitchell Boggs. He's efficient. He's got to get out of this inning here. 2-1 on Gomes.
Tony going to the bullpen again. And you'll see if he gets a right-hander up now. All right, Reyes continues to throw.
Or it might be a situation where he gets on the phone for a couple of reasons, Al. One, either to tell Reyes stop throwing, which is not the case because he's still standing on the mound, or make sure he knows he's coming in if this batter gets on.
And if this batter gets on, which right-hander gets up with it.
2-2. Another check on the runners. He got him. Strikeout for Boggs, his 6th of the night. Gets out of the jam here in the 5th. Rasmus, Pujols, and Holiday coming up.
He has been overtaken in the home run and RBI lead for rookies, but still having a solid season as he's trying to find everyday playing time. Second time up, he lined out to right field. Breaking ball just hammered. Kobe told me the other day he's lost 18 pounds since spring training. That they've changed his diet, trying to get him to eat properly. And at one time we thought maybe he was losing a little strength, but he says no, he feels good, and if anything he's regaining strength and changing his dietary habits. Justin Lear, this is only his 3rd major league start. His last time out, he shut out the Cubs on a 4-hitter. Bounced around for a few years, playing in Korea, pitching in Korea, and then he's having a terrific minor league season. Started Double-A, or started with Philadelphia, and combined in the minor leagues was 13-3. Started the Triple-A All-Star game, and now he's pitching well in the big leagues.
Rasmus with an infield base hit, first time up, and also flied out to right. Here's a 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Albert on deck, and then Matt Holiday. 4-1 Cincinnati. Two.
And I know this is only his 3rd major league start, but kind of unusual. Your 2nd major league start, you throw 117 pitches and throw a complete game. I was talking to Dick Poland. I said something about the kid, and he said, "Kid?" I said, "Well, how old is he?" He said, "Well, he's like 33." I said, "Well, he's a kid to us, Dick."
Rasmus in the left center. That'll stay in the ballpark. And again, that's the 2nd time that he has hit one deep, but stays in the park.
Been plays at every base in tonight's game. That was a good play there. And then at second base, get the force out. How about this? Dickerson makes a mistake back in the first, and then they get an out, a double play to end last inning. There's a play at the plate. So been a lot of base runners, a lot of activity. Most of it's gone Cincinnati's way.
Here's Pujols, who scored the only run for the Cardinals tonight back in the third inning on an RBI by Ludwig. About time for Albert to go deep. Pick up number 37. Third time through this lineup for Lear.
It's tied for first in home runs now.
And Mark Reynolds has been on a tear. Grounder hit to short. Gonzalez settles and throws.
Albert 0 for 3, but Holiday 2 for 2. Part of the problem is the Cardinals have 8 hits. They've all been singles, and a couple of infield singles.
So 2 outs and Matt Holliday. First pitch taken for a ball. Well, no activity for the Cardinals in the bullpen, so you'd figure Boggs is back out there for the 6th.
Well, he's got those right-handers that hopefully he can retire and get an easy inning. What if I told you Albert's now 1 for his last 18 at home?
That is hard to believe. Yeah, those dramatic moments in the road trip most recently. Think about the grand slam he had at New York. The 2-0. 2 balls and a strike.
Say if Lear can keep the ball down in the zone, on the corners, he can be successful. If he gets the ball up over the middle of the plate, it's batting practice.
For the most part, he's been on the corners here tonight.
Right. Just enough pitches in on the hands of the right-handed batters to keep them honest.
Has given up 8 base hits. Cardinals have stranded 6, but they trail 4-1. In on the hands again.
Yeah, good pitch there. Yeah, you see Dick Pole. Ever since Dusty started managing, Dick Pole's been his pitching coach. And his first stint managing was in the Arizona Fall League, and he was assigned Dick Pole, and they've been together ever since.
The 2-2. Chopped by Holliday. Salas backs up, and safe at first is Holliday. By backing up, it cost him. Base hit for Matt Holliday, his 3rd of the evening against Cincinnati.
Well, Rosales thinks he has a very strong throwing arm, and he does, but Holliday hustles all the time out of the batter's box. If you're right, backs up. I thought he was out, and I think the replay may confirm it. Out. Exactly. But we won't tell anybody.
So 2 outs, Holliday aboard, and here's Ludwig, who has picked up the only RBI. His 72nd RBI back in the 3rd. He's also flied out to right.
Ludwig got a hanging breaking ball for the RBI single to left his last time. First time up, he flew to right. Like he thought he was going to get a play out over the plate, and got that ball back inside.
Watch out. So 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runner at first. Ludwig 1 for 2.
San Diego's jumped out on top 4-2 and batting with the bases loaded and 1 out against Milwaukee.
Oh, 2 to Ludwig.
Marlins now have an 8-7 lead over Houston.
One and 2 is the count. And Ludwig pops it up. Foul territory. Rosales there and makes the catch. And the Cardinals strand their 7th runner. 4-1 Cincinnati. Fastest 3G network, AT&T, your world delivered. Back in St. Louis, 4-1 Cincinnati as we move to the top of the 6th.
Be a big plus if Boggs can get through this inning, Dan.
And that pitch is taken on the outside corner.
3 right-handed batters that are 0 for 6 tonight. You would hope that would be the case.
And that pitch is taken on the inside, cornered by Rosales. 3 balls and a strike. Struck out a couple of times. Full count now.
Big pitch. He's got to hit his way on. You cannot let him have a free pass.
And he does. So the last thing he wanted to do was walk him. Tony La Russa not happy there one bit.
Tony also in the back of his mind knows that Boggs is 1-0 this year, but the Cardinals have won all 5 of his previous starts.
So back on that bullpen phone. First pitch by Boggs. Double play ball. Lugo, Schumacher, double play. Let's turn now to our Aflac trivia question. And also the Aflac All-American High School Baseball Classic. It's Sunday, August 16th at 7 Central. And it's live from San Diego. Craig Biggio will be part of that. And that'll be this Sunday, 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Midwest.
Got the pitcher spot up. Reyes warming up for Dickerson, who's 2 for 3 tonight. And Gonzalez is 2 for 3, so tire the pitcher.
Well, we were wondering if Mitchell Boggs had done enough to earn another start, and I think right now you'd have to probably say that that's the case. Little chopper and a base hit. So the pitcher Lear picks up the hit, and that might be it for Mitchell.
Here comes Tony, I'm sure.
That's the first base hit for Lear this season and in his career. Dennis Reyes has been throwing again. Tony's still not coming out.
No. Apparently he's likes what he's seen.
So 2 outs and a runner at first. Dickerson looks at a ball outside. Pitch count at 99 for Mitchell Boggs. Where's that pitch?
Oh, he's not getting anything borderline.
2-0.
32 back in the first inning, but he scored 3 runs on 4 hits. Where's that pitch?
3-0. Lear picked up the 2-out base hit following the double play. Now 3 balls and no strikes on the leadoff man, and a strike there. 3-1. Dickerson with a single in the first, a triple and a run scored in the second, and a ground out in the fourth. And he walked him. So 2 walks in the inning. Walk number 4 in the ball game tonight by Mitchell Boggs. Third time that Dickerson has been aboard. Don't forget about Ice Cream Sundays. And North Star is making this Sunday extra special with an ice cream sundae 2 hours prior to the game in the Ford Plaza. Join us for music, fun, games, and don't forget about the free ice cream while supplies last. North Star Ice Cream Sundays. It's also the Fredbird Picture Frame Day and a Family Sunday.
falling behind the count again. Molina's going to go out and talk to him. Just tell him, hey, this is your last batter you're going to face, so don't hold anything back. Go right after him. Go get him. Votto's on deck.
One-zero pitch to Gonzalez. Hit down the left field line and foul.
Tell that gentleman to use his hands next time instead of his chest.
One ball, one strike. And a grounder that's off the glove of DeRosa. Lugo, though, backing up. Got a runner between second and third.
It's Dickerson again.
Now they can go home to the plate. Blocked by Molina. The poor throw. And out at the plate. Skip shaking his head, but everybody's all right. And Dusty Baker can't believe it. The second time tonight, they've run themselves into an out. And this time, again, they run themselves out of the inning. What's on tap? It's a 6-game winning streak into his 19th start of the season for Chris Carpenter, who's 11-3, coming off a win last time against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Reds and Cardinals tomorrow at 6:30. And there's the line from his last start: 8 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 1, and struck out 4. So Carp gets the start against Homer Bailey. Fun Light, what's on tap? Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by AT&T. Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. The Chrysler Summer Clearance is here. Get to your Chrysler dealer today for some of the best deals of the season. And by Taco Bell, your place to win tickets or a VIP ticket package to the Mizzou, Illinois arch rivalry game. 4-1 Cincinnati as we move to the bottom of the 6th. And Carpenter Al gets that start tomorrow. Of course, we always look forward to that.
Most definitely. And as you mentioned, he's putting his name in contention for Cy Young along with Wainwright. And all, you know, I mean, I had a national publication today talked to me about they were putting Pinheiro in there.
Really? Record-wise wouldn't be there, but you look at the numbers.
Yeah, they're saying the good ERA, but Wainwright and Carpenter have better ERAs, but there's no doubt Pinheiro has been very consistent all season long, and with a little run support, and have a much improved won-loss record. So the Cardinals feel very comfortable with those three, and Loesch won his first ball game last night in almost 2.5 months.
And they get 6 innings tonight out of Boggs, with a little help from the base running of the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, I think we're assuming his night is through, and you would think that Reyes, who's already been up twice, has thrown enough that with 2 outs, maybe he'll throw a few more to take over in the 7th inning. And let's hope the game's a little bit closer.
2-1 the count on Mark DeRosa. DeRosa, Molina, and Lugo. And then the pitcher spot with Mitchell Boggs. Justin Lear has shut down the offense of the Cardinals. Left center, the catch made. Dickerson with that good speed. The St. Louis Cardinals, the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, and Fox Sports Midwest have joined together to encourage young people not to smoke, because once you start, it's hard to stop. Strike out tobacco so we can all breathe easier. Call the Missouri Tobacco Quit line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Mentioned Dickerson with that good speed. He's trying to learn how to use it on the base paths, isn't he?
It's twice now.
Twice, yeah.
He's running downs.
First inning, at third base, straight out there, and DeRosa have to catch the ball, tagged him out, and then he's the one that ran, assuming that the lead runner, Lear, who was stopped at third base, and he just ran into third base, forcing the pitcher to try and come home. And even with the bad throw from Schumacher, a good block and catch by Molina, and just had enough time to cushion himself for whatever collision he was going to find himself in.
0-1. Big Cardinal fan. Have a note here from Dale Lopino, as Dale wants to say hi to Don and Butch, and those two have been together for a number of years. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Molina shoots it into left. That's a base hit. Yadi hustling down the line at first. He's thinking too. And goodbye, Yadi. Two outs.
You're down 4-1. Gomes did a nice job of cutting the ball off. He's already thrown out a man at the plate. Now he gets an assist here, and Yadi should have been content to stay at first. Phillips a Gold Glover.
3.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to do this.
So Gomes now with a couple of assists tonight, and both times with Molina. Here's Julio Lugo with 2 outs and nobody on. Herrera is warming up for Cincinnati in their bullpen.
I want to see a comparison between Herrera, and he takes the mound, and Shaq with his standing on the mound. Think we can get that?
Herrera is what, 5'8"?
I'm not sure he's that, but I think he's more like 5'6", but he's the smallest player currently in the major leagues.
Rosales makes the play. And we head to the 7th. 4-1 Cincinnati. E-Class attention assist of the game. Mark DeRosa early on in this game, and Dickerson was the runner at third, and inexplicably he's tagged out. Mercedes-Benz E-Class attention assist of the game. Our Chevy call to the bullpen is Denny's Reyes in for St. Louis.
Reyes leads the Cards with his 53rd appearance. Lefties are batting .222 against him. Overall opponents .253.
And he gets Joey Votto. Start this seventh inning off. Herrera, by the way, is listed at 5'6". Shack at 7'1". Herrera 5'6".
And I told you I did a spring training game with the Minnesota Twins, and they had two minor leaguers that were teammates at the, I believe, at the AA level, but they were in the major league camp. One was a 5'3" shortstop, and then they had a pitcher from the Netherlands that was over 7 foot. They were teammates, and they said it used to be very comical when the shortstop would go to the mound to talk to the 7 foot plus pitcher.
But Shack is he's just huge. I mean,
well, it's just a mass. He weighs 325 pounds.
And he's in great shape. And you look at him and you say, you see him on TV and then you see him in person. It's just unbelievable.
I don't think you were going to go up and tell him he's not in good shape, were you?
Well, no, but I mean, he's in good shape. Playing in the NBA, he should be.
You have to be running up and down the court, don't you?
Yep. DeRosa, nice pick. Soft hands over there at third. Bush Bash All-Star Fridays feature prizes, live music, and a Cardinals player this season. Each Friday game will feature a former Major League All-Star. And on Friday, August 14th, three-time All-Star Todd Worrell from 5:30 to 6:30. And the first 200 people in line will be guaranteed to get Worrell's autograph. For information and tickets, visit stlcardinals.com.
Jason Mott looks like he's thrown in the bullpen.
Here's Brandon Phillips.
Phillies have taken a 3-2 lead over the Cubbies, and they're in the bottom of the 8th inning now.
1-0 Phillips. This time next week we'll be on the West Coast. Dodgers in San Diego. We come home for a 9-game homestand that takes us into September.
Cardinals play a lot of teams this month that are under 500. So
Phillips pulls it foul, may have broken his bat. A bit over 40,000 last night, and 40,145 here this evening.
That's remarkable, isn't it?
It's great. Tuesday night, 40,145.
We haven't had a crowd under 40,000. There were sellouts all of the last homestand, and then again, the first 2 games of this homestand, over 40,000 in attendance each night. There aren't seats available, though.
Here's a 1-2. Swung on and missed. A strikeout of Phillips. First of the night for Denny's Reyes. 2 away. Mitchell Boggs wound up striking out 6. Now that he's officially out of the game, he figured that he would get one more shot 5 days from now, possibly. We shall see. Cardinals have an off day on Thursday, come back to work on Friday, and they get Adam Wainwright on the mound. There's Lance Nix. First pitch taken inside.
Need that 5th spot again on the road trip, so we'll see.
That's a strike. So 2 outs and nobody on for Nix, who had RBI double with the bases loaded back in the first inning. Marlins have tied it up 8-8 now with the Astros, and San Diego leads it by 5 over Milwaukee in the top of the 7th. Two and two. Cardinals will have Reyes' spot due up first in the bottom of the 7th. In the top of the lineup for the Cardinals. Three-two pitch, and he walked him, a 2-out walk.
Fifth walk. Cardinals have allowed the first by Reyes, 4 by Boggs, and that's something that Cardinal pitching staff very stingy in.
And here comes a double switch as Tony La Russa is making the slow walk to home plate. Marty Foster. And Jason Mott is coming in. It's our call to the bullpen, brought to you by Chevrolet. Mott coming in. That's it for Denny's Reyes. Brendan Ryan also coming in. 4-1 Cincinnati.
For him is you find out at this level guys can handle fastballs.
Nightfall upon us. Beautiful night here in St. Louis. This is Johnny Gomes. So 2 outs and a runner at first. Gomes has an RBI single back in the first. He's grounded out to second and struck out.
And I just find that a lot of times Mott's fastball is extremely inconsistent with the velocity, and you could say the same with his breaking ball. You know, you've got to throw it to improve upon it, but he just doesn't have the consistency where it's a good pitch for him.
Part of the double switch, Brendan Ryan taking over at short, so he'll lead it off for the Cardinals in their half of the 7th. And Mott goes in the position of Julio Lugo in the lineup. So there's a look at the Cardinals shortstop, who has just played exceptional defense. That's a strike. 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Strikeout from Mott. Time to stretch. Cardinals trail 4-1. Dickerson early on. Molina trying to tag up from third base, gunned down by Gomes. Aggressive play by the Cardinals. Dickerson would get caught in another run down, and all of a sudden the Reds ran themselves out of an inning. Good play by Yachty. And Yachty then gunned out at second, trying to extend a single into a double. Cardinals need to get something going here. We're in the bottom of the 7th, and they trail in this game. It's 4-1. So here's Brendan Ryan, who's hitting .276. Nearly hit by the pitch.
You knew it'd be a glancing blow. Take it.
One ball, 1 strike, his first plate appearance of the night.
Getting a little late, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, they've got a right-hander,
Nassett,
throwing in the bullpen for the Reds.
One of their more reliable relievers.
2-1 to Brendan Ryan. Pulled down the left field line and foul. 2-2.
Has been fun to watch Brendan play defense. Really starting to open up the eyes of opposing teams.
Two balls and 2 strikes. And Brendan hits it sharply past the shortstop and into left field. Base hit for Brendan Ryan.
3 for his last 8 and a 3-game hitting streak with this single. And Dusty Baker looks like he's going to make a double switch. Left fielder Gomes is coming in, and they're signaling near the bullpen. Massa was warming up, but very quickly they get the Herrera, and that's who's coming in, the little lefty.
And he'll face Skip Schumacher when we come back. Leadoff single by Ryan. It's 4-1 here in the 7th.
And a lot of times when a little lefty has a screwball, it's more effective against right-handed batters than it is lefties. I don't like our scoreboard. As I looked up a minute ago and it said it was Phillies 4, Chicago 2 in the top of the ninth. Now they're taking a run away from the Phils.
Still leading. Still leading. 3-2. By the way, Bronson Arroyo and Aaron Harang cleared waivers for the Reds. So those two could be dealt. And the Yankees have been a team that is in search of some help back end of their rotation. Harang 6-13. And Arroyo is 10-11.
While doing what he has to do, and they have to trade those guys.
This could be 2. Phillips flips to short on to first, and a double play. Nicely turned by the Reds. Gonzalez in the air like Ozzie Smith and made that play.
Up the elevator. Flip and then get up over the sliding Brendan Ryan. The elevator. Bad throw to first and really soft hands by Votto to complete the double play. Gonzalez kind of threw a. We got a little piece of his fingers. He's shaking his fingers like something hit his nail there.
The Yankees are currently using Sergio Mitre, ERA over 7, in that role as a 5th starter. So you have a situation where Maybe Harang would fit there. He's got about $18.5 million left on his deal. Arroyo, $16.5 million. There's a broken bat and foul.
Arroyo's been a little bit inconsistent, but Harang went for about 4 or 5 starts without a win, if not a little bit longer than that. But I thought Bob Castellini, their owner of the Reds, and has been on the record as saying that they were not going to trade those guys. We need them for ticket sales.
By the way,
but you got to listen.
In that Phillies game, the Cardinals were right. It was 4-2, but then a home run was taken away.
That's what I was going to think. Or the way I was thinking about that.
So it is a 3-2 lead for the Phillies. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the center fielder of the Cardinals, Colby Rasmus.
Now you wonder there if it was ruled a foul ball, because talking with the umpires, they think that because of the basket in the outfield is one of the easier ballparks for them to judge home runs.
2-2. Apparently on that replay it was in question the fair or foul ball, and they said clearly foul, so the right call was made and the reversal was correct. I don't mind instant replay. I just hope it doesn't lead into a number of other things down the line with replay in baseball.
Well, I think most umpires feel it's the beginning.
Right down the middle, and Rasmus strikes out. Good work by Herrera. 8th inning rolls in. It's 4-1. On Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light, and by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. The Cardinals with 11 base hits tonight, but they have stranded 7. They trail 4-1. Mott, his 2nd inning of work in relief of Reyes, who is in relief of tonight's starter, Mitchell Boggs.
Take away Boggs' first inning. This will be a heck of a ball game, 1-1.
That first inning gave up 3 runs. He gave up another in the 2nd.
Struck out Gomes to in the 7th inning, the only man he faced.
3-0 the count on Rosales. 7, 8, 9 in this lineup. Leadoff walk. Can't do that. The Cardinals have issued now 6 walks. Gonzalez has struck out twice and walked twice, and here's Hannigan.
Cardinal pitching staff did not allow a walk last night for the second straight game, and has allowed just 2 walks in the last 4 games prior to tonight.
Cubs have come back in the bottom of the 9th and tied it up against the Phillies.
Oh, do they need that 4th run?
3-3. DeRosa playing in over at third, and they'll bunt here. By the way, it's a blown save for Brad Lidge, who was perfect a year ago.
Last year, and far from it this year.
It could be a real crushing defeat for the Phillies if they can't somehow win that ball game. They have dropped 3 straight.
And then Atlanta,
7 of their last 10.
Atlanta has already won tonight. They keep on putting pressure.
Takes them to 5 games above the 500 mark.
Marlins are in extra innings, tied 8-8 with the Astros.
Bunted in the air. Pujols makes the catch. And Hannigan can't do the job. Boy, Bobby Cox just finds a way, doesn't he? Every year to make that team competitive.
You got to look at Bobby Cox and Tony La Russa. You know, I mean, every year, no matter what they're dealt with, they have a contending team, a team that plays hard, and don't ever discount them.
There's Taveras. Took over in center field last inning. One out and a runner at first. Little chopper, slowly hit. Brendan Ryan. Good soft hands again.
Makes it look awfully easy for that in-between hop.
He's playing right now with so much confidence.
Yeah, and the speed of Taveras going down there is another factor, but there's the soft hands you talk about. Many times when you come in on a ball like that, you can kind of control the hop you're going to get. You lay back. We saw Rosales do it at third base earlier in this game, and the ball will play you, and Holiday beat it out for a base hit.
Chris Dickerson, he's had a nice night. On base 3 times with a single, triple, a run scored, and he walked in the 6th. 2 for 3 on the night. Cardinals will have Pujols, Holiday, and Ludwig coming up. Right-hander throwing in the bullpen for Cincinnati, and of course, you think about the back end of games for the Reds, and that has been one of their positives. Their closer, Cordero, an all-star this year and one of the best. That's Massett throwing right now.
Yeah, he's been a pretty reliable setup man.
Here's a 1-0 pitch.
You see David Weathers now is with Milwaukee.
I'm sure if you ask Tony La Russa, one of the things that he would probably like to have a little bit more protection with is a right-handed, maybe a veteran right-handed bullpen guy out there. In many ways, that Russ Springer role. At times, there's been a little bit too much inconsistency with the younger relievers out there.
No doubt about it. And Tony's tried to use Mott in a way to build his confidence and get some consistency. You know, McClellan has done a good job, but you know, he has a little different role.
3-1. Phillies, by the way, they will go into extra innings. So 10th inning coming up at Wrigley Field. They have 3 runs on 2 hits in 9 innings of play. 3 runs and 2 hits. Second walk issued by Mott. And he will deal with Gonzalez. Gonzalez with 3 base hits tonight.
3 for 4. We've seen at times that, especially early in Gonzalez's career, playing for the Marlins, that he could have some big offensive games. He's batting .214, 3 home runs, 25 RBIs, but
2 outs, 2 on. Good pitch on the inside corner. And that's strike 2. He couldn't pull the trigger. Oh, 2 now. Line drive and a base hit into center field. A run will score to make it 5-1 as the throw gets back into second base and backed up by Albert Pujols. 5-1 Reds. Let's go pitch by pitch. Brought to you by Chevrolet.
Fastball right on the inside part of the plate. Strike 1. Good moving pitch. Out of way. 0-2. Couldn't pull the trigger. Then a slider out there. Not bad 0-2. But then a fastball in the middle of the plate. Wanted it back inside and catches his 4th hit of the night. He's raised his batting average over 10 points tonight. And
Trevor Miller has been getting loose in the pen.
He's entering this ball game right now.
5-1 Cincinnati. It's hitting 198 overall. Lefties below that even. And for Alex Gonzalez, it's a 4-hit night. 6th time that he has done that, which matches his career high. And oddly enough, the last time he did that was in April of 07 against the Cardinals. 5-1 Cincinnati after Gonzalez base hit and RBI.
Tony's had some big days against the Cardinals. Came in batting 204. He was up to 214 prior to his last base hit. Trevor Miller will inherit the 1st and 3rd 2-out situation. And left-handed batters are batting just 101 against him. 7 for 69.
It's been a situation where Tony will use Miller now late in innings and late in the game. And Reyes more like he was used today. Right center. And the catch made by Colby. So he retires Votto in 1 pitch. Big bats coming up. It's 5-1. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Nick Matson into the ball game for the Reds, his 44th appearance. For Dusty Baker, he has settled into that setup role, and opponents only hitting 190 against him on the year with those 43 appearances.
He's done a real nice job for him. He's posted a 1.23 ERA in 11 appearances before going on the disabled list, and a 3.38 in 32 appearances since coming off the DL.
Here's Pujols, 5-1 Cincinnati.
He's really done a good job of handling the right-handed batters. They're batting just 176 off of Massett.
And the 0-1. Pujols, left center, to the wall. Draw. 5-2.
About that. Got a fastball that was in the middle of the plate. It was down, but we're talking about Albert Pujols and his 37th home run and 101st RBI. You like these three coming up, but you wish they had a couple guys on base before they did so. Too bad Shaq left.
Here's Matt Holliday. Hardy's prime cut of the game. High, towering blast from the Cardinal slugger, Albert Pujols.
See the ball in the middle of the plate, and he does not miss that pitch. But Holliday, another 3 for 3.
405 feet, the measured distance of the home run.
We'll get tired of that ball sailing through the night off his bat.
0-2 pitch to Holliday. And he strikes out. Haven't seen that very much. Holliday striking out or chasing a pitch out of the zone.
Awfully good wearing the Cardinal uniform.
There's Ludwig, who has an RBI tonight. He's fly to right. He's popped out to third and had an RBI single on a hanging breaking ball back in the third to score Pujols. Pujols has scored the 2 runs tonight. It's now 89 runs scored this year for Albert. Puts him ahead of Mark Reynolds in the home run department with 37. Adam Dunn at 30 and Reynolds at 36.
He leads in home runs, RBIs, and runs scored.
RBIs at 101, Prince Fielder at 98, then Dunn at 84. But Adam Dunn, I mean, that's going to be a good signing for Washington. With Nick Johnson now with the Florida Marlins, Dunn has been playing over at first base, which probably is the right position for him.
Yeah, and remember, Adam Dunn didn't sign with the Nationals until the World Baseball Classic over Team USA.
Here's a 1-2.
Brad Thompson is throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. When things started, you were thinking you were going to see him in the first or second inning.
Boggs gave the Cardinals 5+. 2-2. In the air to shallow right center field. Tavares there for the second out. DeRosa 1 for 3 with a single back in the second inning. Breaking ball taken low and away.
Marilyn and Rich Series are here from Davenport, Iowa. Rich celebrating his 70th birthday.
Two balls and no strikes. And that's a walk to DeRosa. Had to make sure that the home plate umpire called it ball 4, and he did. Brings in Molina. Molina involved in a couple of running plays in which he was thrown out. He tried to tag up from third earlier and score. Was thrown out at the plate and then tried to extend a single into a double.
I appreciate the hustle, but there's times where you got to play under control. And trailing by 3, that wasn't the time to try and stretch a single into a double.
Dick Paul will have a quick visit here with Massett.
Have Arthur Rhodes, lefty veteran left-hander, warming up. Rick Ankiel looks like he's going out to the on-deck circle. As Dick Pole was through with his message. Now Kendo talking with Yadier. Big gap out in the left center. Need base runners.
Rick Ankiel on deck, so let's see if Yadier can extend it to him. We're in the bottom of the 8th. 5-2, the Cardinals trail. Pitch that catches the outside corner.
Got 2 for 3 tonight. This night just seemed like it got a little bit out of whack with the circus surrounding Shaq O'Neal.
I agree. Two balls and a strike. So Rhodes getting loose for Rick Ankiel. Cardinals also could bring Khalil Green off the bench too.
That's what I was saying. You know, if they counter and bring in Rhodes, I got to go Khalil Green.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Down the right field line, slicing, foul. DeRosa hustling all the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Molina grounded into a double play in the second. He singled in the 4th. And singled in the 6th, tried to stretch it into a double. He was thrown out at second base. Albert is homered tonight for the 37th time. Two-two. Molina serves it into right field. And it's dropped. No catch. DeRosa will score. Molina winds up at second base. And the Cardinals have the tying run coming to the plate.
How big was that insurance run? Cincinnati scored at the top of the 8th inning. Hanging breaking ball, lifted out there. Dickerson should have made that play. I mean, they got a lot of glove. He tried to use 2 hands, but it gets down, and it wasn't because of hitting the ground either. That ball just eluded him, couldn't hold on to it, and Molina's out there at second base, and we got a ball game now. Best he has a veteran Rhodes.
He's been able to rely on Massett most of this year. Don't go away yet, as the Cardinals will have the tying run coming up. .5 ERA. You know, he had one of those key walks, remember, against Hoffbauer, I believe it was, to bring up Albert Pujols in the Grand Slam last time we saw him.
Well, close to only batting 188, but lefties 129. And a tough assignment for Rick Ankiel, because he's a hard thrower. There's really nothing really soft about him. I guess Tony will go with this matchup, but a tough matchup right now for Ankiel, as he's should be just geared for the fastball, but really trying to struggle to find the strike zone.
Ankiel represents the tying run here in the bottom of the 8th.
Lead off breaking ball, looked like it was up high, but called a strike.
Certainly you could see if Tony La Russa wanted to go to Khalil Green, that would make sense as well. Sticks with Rick Ankiel in the lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the 0-1. Ankiel hits it in the air, popped up into shallow left. Gonzalez, the shortstop, calling for it. He's got it. Cardinals, though, pick up 2. They've got 13 hits tonight, but they trail 5-3.
Pat Parris and Rick Horton are waiting in the wings. A rough first inning for the Cardinals. They'll relive it. Player reaction straight from the Cardinal clubhouse, plus the Tournament of Cardinal Champions rolls on tonight. It's all coming up after the game. For now, we go back to Dan and Al, guys.
All right. Thank you, Jim. And Brad Thompson takes over for the Cardinals, and this will be his 23rd appearance. And in the rotation, the Cardinals' long man, and now working here in the ninth. So Brandon Phillips will be the first man that he faces. Phillips has struck out, hit into a fielder's choice. He flied out and walked his first time up. First inning, the story of this game, Al, is Mitchell Boggs gave up 3 runs early and put the Cardinals in a hole.
3 runs on 4 hits and a walk. Dickerson, the leadoff batter, made a base running mistake. Recorded the first out at. So he was trapped off third base, but it didn't really matter with all the base hits afterwards.
Here's Brendan Ryan to his left and makes the play.
Important for Brad Thompson to shut him down, keep a 2-run deficit.
Lance Nix. Ball 1. Two and 0. Nix tonight had the big double and picked up 2 RBIs in the first with the bases loaded. 2 balls and no strikes. Ground ball and a base hit right side.
Must like hitting against the Cardinals.
He's hit very well against St. Louis, no doubt. It's 2009 season. 1 out base hit, but with Brad Thompson, you think about the ground ball and potential of the double play. So pinch hitter here. Drew Sutton will be the pinch hitter. We saw him late last night.
It's a switch hitter. Acquired from the Astros to complete the Jeff Keppinger trade during spring training.
Phillies and Cubs tied up 3-3. That's in the 11th. San Diego pounding Milwaukee now. They lead it by 9 runs, 13-4. That's in the top of the 9th. And they're also in the 11th. Marlins and Astros 8-8 in the 11th.
This big crowd stuck around hoping for it come from behind in the 9th.
Floats in there for a strike, 0-2.
Get a couple guys on and you'll have the big guys coming up. So this game is long from over if Thompson can just hold it.
Swing and a miss, and Sutton down on strikes.
Set up inside. Little off-speed pitch and swinging out in front.
Cordero getting loose for Cincinnati, their closer. And here's Rosales. A couple of strikeouts and a couple of walks.
Always impressed with Brad Thompson and his ability to come in after a few days off and always throw strikes. Never complains about his role. Prefer to be in the rotation, and did a incredible job for a couple of turns. And then he had a couple rough ones to get knocked out of the rotation.
And a 1-1 pitch to Rosales. Here it comes. Now in the 12th at Wrigley Field, 3-3. You watch Thompson, he's got that nasty streak. He gets fired up at himself and unhappy. You see there, he's falling behind here, 3 balls and 1 strike.
For a guy that still looks like a baby face, he can wear his emotions.
3-1 pitch, 3-2. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. Ground ball hit to short. Brendan Ryan in the hole. Over to first, and a low throw picked by Albert. Sends us to the bottom of the 9th. Scoreless frame put up there by Brad Thompson. It's 5-3 Cincinnati. Reds, and another solid year for the all-star closer of the Reds. Almost perfect. He's 24 of 25 in save opportunities. Opponents only hitting .213 against him.
And he's one of 11 major league relievers to have at least 100 saves in each league. Brendan Ryan will be the first man to face him. He came in as part of a double switch and is 1-for-1. They had the best record when leading after 8 innings. They're the only team in baseball that is undefeated when leading after 8 innings. 42-0, and Dusty's very trusting in Cordero. Some rally caps there by the girls.
The Cardinals, remember, they changed that against the Dodgers. Dodgers were perfect going into the 9th, and Cardinals came back against them and won a ball game.
Well, really, you're in a good spot here. If you can get a couple guys on, then you have the big guys coming up to put the game away. Phillies have taken a 4-3 lead in the 12th and still batting with 2 outs.
So here we go, bottom of the ninth, and it's 5-3 Cincinnati. Brendan Ryan leads it off for the Cardinals, then Schumacher. Anybody can reach. We could see Albert Pujols come up to a fourth in this inning. Brendan Ryan here, Schumacher, Rasmus, then Albert.
That's why I want a couple guys on and let 2 or 3 of them take a shot at winning the ball game.
2-0.
Doesn't matter if you get on a hit or a walk. You've got to get on.
Right down the middle, 2 balls and a strike. On the air tomorrow at 6:30, Chris Carpenter getting the start for the Cardinals. Homer Bailey, 2-3 for the Reds. Carp looking for win number 12. 2-2.
How big would the Cardinal lead be if Carpenter didn't miss all that time on the DL?
Got to figure a couple of wins at least from Carpenter at that time, 2 or 3.
I think we'd always give him more than that.
Being conservative, Al.
Yes, definitely.
Very conservative. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Ryan, base hit into right.
You know, Dan, every team has injuries and you have to deal with that, but sometimes you only think your team has them. The key individuals.
Then you look at the Cubs, and we talked about their injuries and what they've been dealing with this year.
Look at the Mets, 10 guys on the disabled list, and some of their key players. But here we said Brendan's got to get on base somehow, and he's had 2 plate appearances since entering this game, and he's 2 for 2.
There's Schumacher. Cordero has been with Detroit. That was briefly 20 games back in 1999. He's a closer with Texas for a number of seasons, Milwaukee, and now his second year with the Cincinnati Reds. I'll never forget he came in from Milwaukee in that Saturday afternoon. The Cardinals were hanging on by a thread, it seemed like. Central Division in 06, and Scott Spezio had one of the biggest hits of the year.
Yeah, it's triple down the right field corner.
That's right.
Just kind of felt the way they were limping along that year. If they would have gone another couple days, they would not have been in postseason.
There goes Brendan Ryan, and a throw down to second base. How about that?
Sometimes you always talk about you can't be afraid to make mistakes. And if you think you got a good jump, and usually a guy like Cordero is very slow to the plate. So if it's there for you, you can take it, but you have to have that fear of not making a mistake and make sure you got the good jump. And he gets out there with his 9th stolen base.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Skip Schumacher.
Hannigan's got a good throwing arm too, their catcher.
Skip slices one towards third, hustling down the line, high throw, and oh, and Tony La Russa is up a couple of steps in that dugout. Boy, that is a tough call that goes the way of Cincinnati.
Well, we saw one go the Cardinals' way. To get down ahead of. Yeah.
Good call.
Good call.
It's Chad Fairchild, the first base umpire. And here is Colby Rasmus. Pujols on deck. For Dusty Baker, you might be faced with the situation of first base open. And would you walk Pujols then to bring in Holiday as the potential winning run to the plate?
Dusty's hoping he doesn't have to face that decision.
Here's the 0-1. Rasmus out front and rips it foul. Off-speed pitch. No balls and 2 strikes. Pujols, if you're wondering, 3 for 8 against Cordero, and Matt Holliday is 0 for 1.
Hard to believe that you wouldn't have more at bats against, or both of them really have more at bats against Cordero.
Here's the 0-2.
Marlins beat the Astros in extra innings 9-8. They moved to the bottom of the 12th in Chicago. Phillies ahead 4-3.
0-2 pitch inside to Colby. Gap into left center field as they shade Rasmus to pull just slightly. Much of this big crowd, over 40,000, is stuck around. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Popped up and out of play. Pujols has homered already tonight.
Colby batting .366 with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs against Cincinnati this year.
Rasmus, a ground ball to the right side. They got a race to the bag, and he's safe. And the ball gets away. Ryan scores. No one was at the bag. He had to lead somebody. Nobody took it, and it's 5-4.
And Joey Votto went too far to his right. You got a Gold Glove second baseman and Phillips out there. But you see Votto going his right, and then now he can't recover. It hits Colby Rasmus. He'll make sure, but Votto straight too far. He's trying to lead somebody. It goes off of Colby, and Brendan Ryan scores. So it's, if the Cardinals win this game, we're going to look back when you're in postseason and remember this one if they win this game.
Pujols represents the winning run. 1 out. Rasmus at first base. First pitch to Albert, taken for a ball. Matt Holliday is on deck. Cardinals have already stolen a base here in this inning. You see the numbers against Cordero.
I don't think I want
no sir
Colby to run right now.
No sir. Here's a 1-0 pitch.
Crowd that stuck around is rewarded with this confrontation.
17 pitches by Cordero. It's now official. The Cubs lose their game. With a win, the Cardinals could move to 4 games in front of Chicago. The 2-0 pitch. Pujols. Cordero to second, and the tag was there. The tag was there.
Gonzalez said all along that he tagged him, and now Colby has confirmed that he has been tagged out. High throw, and looks like he tags him on the helmet. So fielder's choice. Gets him on the helmet.
Well, that's a good play.
And he hadn't touched the base yet, so it's a good call.
That's a heck of a play by Gonzalez.
Yeah, you talk about the athleticism, split your concentration, you're catching a high throw, you're jumping over a base runner, and you're tagging all in the same motion.
And Holliday lines one foul. Budweiser player of the game, and we'll give it to Gonzalez with a 4-hit night, 4 for 5, runs scored, and an RBI. Alex Gonzalez, the Budweiser player of the game.
Not only did he keep that ball from going to center field, but he got an out of it.
Holiday would love to get his 5th Cardinal home run right here. Here's the 0-1 pitch. 0-2.
Go back and you look at that costly run they scored in the 8th inning, Cincinnati. Difference in this game as the Cardinals battle back from being down 4-0, having a chance to win it here in the night.
Ball gets away and Pujols is in a scoring position. Base hit, and this game could be tied. They've got the outfield playing awfully deep.
Just can't stop it. It's a wild pitch thrown in the dirt and goes right through his wickets and to the backstop.
Wouldn't this be something?
1 ball, 2 strikes. Big gap out in right center, or left center, excuse me.
Holiday called, 3rd strike, and the ball game is over. Cordero gets the save. Cincinnati gets the win. Coming up, U.S. Cellular, Cardinals Live. Let's take a look as Holiday strikes out for the 2nd time tonight.